Okay, let's go for this good ending. Let's try to hit it. So, where's that save file? It should be the 10th, right? 610? Yep, here we go. Roaring then. Okay. Redirect her to Saki's place. I'm pretty sure that decision's not gonna matter. I'm gonna choose tell her everything. And then I'm gonna, instead of saying tell her about the time travel, because that's gonna guarantee me the bad ending, I believe, I say there has to be another method. Alright. Listen closely, Kirumi. Kirumi only continues to cry. In the corner of my field of vision, I see a dumbfounded Izumi-san standing on the terrace. You and Izumi-san are true blood-related sisters. Oni-chan, why? Huh? Oni-chan, why do you know that? That's because... Stop lying already. Papa, Mama, Oni-chan, and Oni-chan. Kirumi hates them. I hate you. I hate everyone. So, similar dialogue. Kirumi shakes off my grasp. She turns around and breaks off into a run. I barely manage to grab onto the hem of her clothes. Kirumi trips and falls down on the beach. In that instant, the bell. That's impossible. Okay, can I actually fast forward this? Yes, I can. Okay, so that's interesting. So that also hits bad ending, so let's not do that. Well, I already did it. Let's not do it again. Obviously. Okay. Redirect her to Saki's place. Now we're gonna hit, because both options you get if you say tell her everything results in a bad ending, I'm gonna try ignore her and stand up. I say nothing and stand up. I feel bad for Izumi-san, but all I can do is ignore her and set out to leave. However, are Kirumi and I... Izumi-san? Really blood related? Or not? Kirumi? My heart stops. Is it true? Is it really true? Kirumi isn't Oni-chan's sister? You're wrong. You and Izumi-san are. You liar. Everyone is deceiving Kirumi. Kirumi, please listen to... You liar! So similar. Kirumi runs out of Luna Beach. Now, does this fast forward? No, it doesn't, okay? Kirumi. Without hesitation, I jump over the handrail onto Moon Beach. That's right, I'll get there before she does. Wham. Still does not fast forward. Intense pain runs through my body, even though the internal monologue is the same. A dip in the sand has twisted my ankle. I then see Kirumi as she rounds the side of the shop, coming close. She runs directly in front of me, giving me the chance for me to grab her by the shoulders. Kirumi is crying. Large teardrops begin to pour out of her eyes. She keeps wiping them away with her palms, but more tears just keep on coming. Everyone is deceiving Kirumi. You're wrong, Kirumi, listen to me. I firmly shake Kirumi by the shoulders. Kirumi flinches from my shouts. But just how should I explain this? Same choice. Let's try there has to be another method. Alright, listen closely, Kirumi. Kirumi only continues to cry. In the corner of my field of vision, I see a dumbfounded Izumi-san standing on the terrace. Does this fast forward? No, it doesn't. You and Izumi-san are true blood-related sisters. Oni-chan, why? Huh? Oni-chan, why do you know that? That's because... Stop lying already. Papa, Mama, Oni-chan, and Oni-chan. Kirumi hates them. I hate you. I hate everyone. Kirumi shakes off my grasp. She turns around and breaks off into a run. This fast forwards. And it bad ends. Okay. Try the next thing. Redirect her to Saki's place. Okay. Ignore her and stand up. Tell her about the time travel. Alright, listen closely, Kirumi. Kirumi only continues to cry. In the corner of my field of vision, I see a dumbfounded Izumi-san standing on the terrace. Does this fast forward? Nope. You and Izumi-san are true blood-related sisters. As for now, I'll explain that now. Kirumi, you were born 21 years ago. And 1 month later, someone kidnapped you. 7 days after the crime was committed, the kidnapper died when the Shikinomori shrine was destroyed. The truth is, you were there with the kidnapper at that time. You received the scar on your back from the incident. Kirumi, ellipses. And 3 years later, you were discovered in the rebuilt shrine. But your body was the same as when you had been kidnapped for some reason. You hadn't aged at all. That's why a lot of people thought there's no way that baby can be Kirumi. And as a result, it caused a misunderstanding that you and Izumi-san weren't blood related. But you know what, Kirumi, that baby was definitely you. The scar on your back, that's the proof. Kirumi, you time traveled 3 years into the future. It's only natural that you didn't age. Oni-chan, why? Huh? Why are you lying like that? It's not a lie. Did you think you could deceive Kirumi? Why? Why don't you believe me, Kirumi? There's no way Kirumi would believe a story like that. Kirumi? Stop lying already. Okay, Papa, Mama, Oni-chan and Oni-chan. Kirumi hates them. I hate you. I hate everyone. Does this fast forward? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's the right combination. You just stand up, but then you do explain the time travel. So it took me... That was the last of those 4 things I tried, so we didn't do so good on that one. I'm gonna try looking somewhere else. Even if I go to the shrine right now, Kirumi probably won't be there. She's definitely somewhere else. I gotta find Kirumi by any means necessary before she arrives at the shrine. There's no hesitation within me. I will definitely change history. I endure the pain and begin to walk, dragging my legs along. Before I know it, the drizzle becomes a constant rain. I desperately continue to walk as the rain hits me. I look for Kirumi. In my dim consciousness, I hear Kurumi's voice out of nowhere. Ready, go. Okay, does this fast forward? Yes, it does. So that was the wrong choice. Okay, that's just the same thing as he does the other way. Okay, I should have thought of that, but I didn't. So, because that's what he does anyways, look somewhere else, right? Going to the shrine would be the change. Okay, well at least I've been exhaustive in my Let's Play. Okay, so I don't think this one matters. Ignore her and stand up. Tell her about the time travel. Go to the shrine. My destination is obvious. Of course, it's the shrine. Kirumi will definitely go to that shrine. And even if it's for argument's sake she doesn't go, then history won't repeat itself. There's no hesitation within me. Anyway, if I don't hurry up and get there, I don't understand why this is the solution, but anyway. I endure the pain and begin to walk towards the shrine, dragging my legs along. By the time I arrive in front of the long staircase, the drizzle has become a constant rain. I wipe off the raindrops from my soaked forehead within the back of my hand. Well, the back of your hand is not soaked? Maybe it's just like the squeegee effect. My legs have already fallen numb. I do my best to raise my heavy legs and step on the first step of the staircase. Now, does this fast forward? No, it doesn't. That's a good sign. I lose my balance, but although it seems like I'm going to fall, I manage to regain my posture with one of my hands. Just like that, I slowly and carefully ascend the long staircase. In the deep darkness, the shrine stands out like something faintly white against a dark background. Again, same dialogue, but I can't fast forward through it. The raindrops pelting the roof become a thin mist that envelops the shrine. Its faint and gray appearance makes it look like a mirage. It's the exact same scene as that day. The ground is violently pounded by swarms of large raindrops. The world is dominated by the sound of rain fall. My body is soaking wet, chilled to the bone. I can barely move my cold body. I move stiffly, staggering through the deep water puddle. In the darkness of the dreary shrine, I don't see Kirumi. In pain, I sit down by the terrace. I firmly stare at the shrine's grounds, hazy from the rain. I draw my body close and shiver as I try to warm up. I place my cold, icy fingers in my pockets. I feel something. I gently start to pull it out. It's me. The me that Kirumi folded, of course. This is Oni-chan. This is Oni-chan when he's smiling. I take the soaking wet origami and stroke it gently. Kirumi. Kirumi will definitely come here. But when she does, just what should I do? I think about it. Healing her scar. Removing her emotional scars. If I can make her believe me about her blood relationship with Izumi-san, Kirumi definitely time traveled here from this shrine. Time travel, just how can I prove that? Well, you do the Yuka ending. You know that. And that suddenly pops up in this ending because the morphogenetic field. I continue to wait for Kirumi while watching the white raindrops flow down from the edge of the eaves. Kirumi's smile. I don't want to lose that angelic smile. Only the origami in my palm is emitting any fake heat. Before long, the morning has quietly arrived. So nothing changed! The rain is still strong and hasn't weakened one bit. A deep, thick fog rises through the shrine's grounds. In that snow-white fog, a faint, small figure appears. Okay. Countless raindrops crash against the figure's thin arms and soft hair. It seems as if the figure's body is wrapped in a band of holy light. The completely soaking wet girl totters forward, her head hung downwards. She hasn't noticed me yet. And then when she reaches the dead center of the long stone paving, I stand up. Still can't skip this. I walk towards the girl in the downpour, even though it seems the same. There's no pain in my legs, I don't feel the cold icy air. It feels like I'm walking on water. All I do is stare at the girl while I slowly make my way towards her. Suddenly the girl raises her head. When she sees me, her small mouth drops open. The girl stands rock still, looking at me in blank amusement. Amazement, that is. I gradually begin to close the distance between us. The girl's figure approaches, and she stands before my eyes. New CG. Okay. I stand right in front of Kirumi. Time travel. What a ridiculous story, really. A fairy tale sounds almost normal compared to it. But you know what? To me, this has been the best time I've spent in this good-for-nothing world. Yuka's optimistic laugh, Uruka's unconventional behavior, the face Saki would make when she got angry, being wrapped up in Izumi-san's kindness, all of those are precious memories. But, to me, the greatest treasure of all this is you. Your innocent smile, your angelic smile. I wanted to watch over it forever. Kirumi, whether or not you believe me that I'm about to tell you is completely up to you. But if you don't believe me, then I will disappear from this world. I will end everything for the sake of severing this infinite loop. Kirumi, I am so confused right now. Are you high? Almost at this exact time 6 days ago, I time traveled from this shrine. Before that, I had spent 6 days with you. Kirumi, do you know why the ocean's water is so salty? Huh? The ocean's water is the moon's tears, that's why it's so salty. Because the moon was all alone, it was lonely, and would cry during the night. Even so, the moon was still lonely, and so its tears give birth to children, a lot of children. The child of the moon and the sea, the jellyfish. Kirumi, you want to be like a jellyfish, right? You want to gently float in the sea from day to night. Oni-chan? And there's my dream. I haven't told you it yet, have I? My dream is to get married to a kind wife. When I come home from work all exhausted, she would first give me a bowl of warm soup. She'll prepare a warm bath for me and pour me a cup of warm sake. Our kids will get between us and we'll all have warm smiles rise to our faces. In the summer, we'll leave the windows open and the whole family will watch a night game on TV while listening to the wind chimes. In the winter, we'll wrap ourselves up in a kotatsu and watch cold medicine commercials while eating oranges. We won't need anything special, just ordinary days as a very plain, ordinary family. At night, basically recording everything that she says in the first 6 days that she didn't say in the second. At night, she will bury her face in my chest and sleep soundly. How, Oni-chan, how did... I spread open my palm. And there's a soaking wet me. and then I carefully unfold it so that I don't rip it, and restore it to its original square form. I crouch down at Kirumi's feet and begin to fold it. The paper and the ground are wet, so it's very hard to do. But I become determined to keep folding it with all I've got. Eventually I finish folding, and then I very carefully hold it up between my fingertips. That folding method, the finished product is, look, it's Kirumi Unit 17. Why? Even though Kirumi's the only one who knows that method, why? Is it true? Did you really time travel? I give a deep nod. You're lying. It's not a lie. It's not a lie, Kirumi. I embrace Kirumi, softly, tenderly, and then I reach out for Kirumi's back. I gently touch her scar. Oni-chan, Kirumi, I love you. I love everything about you. Was this silly? Okay, continue. Okay, so he basically proposed marriage to the girl. Kirumi and I kiss each other on the lips, blah blah blah. So another CG. Yeah, okay. It's obviously not reading this out loud. And the shrine falls down behind them, but you wouldn't know. The vast sky is blue and clear. It's as if the heavy rainfall yesterday never happened. Kirumi and I walk down the warm afternoon coastline while holding hands. Hey, Oni-chan. Shall we go pay our respects? Pay our respects where? That's obvious. That shrine. The shrine, but it was destroyed in that earthquake yesterday, wasn't it? It's fine. Even if it's collapsed, it's still there, right? Even if it's been smashed, a shrine's a shrine. Come on, let's go. Yeah, the shrine's apparently only 17 years old. So, I don't know why it's so old. But the once majestic building has completely disappeared. Unsure of where to pray for a moment, we decide to face the dead center of the rubble and pray. Okay, once we finish praying, we begin to walk down the stairs of the shrine. Suddenly, Kirumi says this. This is where you and Kirumi kissed yesterday, huh? Hey, Kirumi, could you not say that so bluntly? It's kind of embarrassing if you put it like that. Is that so? Kirumi says this with a proud, smiling face. It's like the smile of a child who's planning an evil prank. Hey, Oni-chan. Okay. You remember what happens if we break our promise to go to the amusement park, right? You're talking about that pinky swear promise? Oh, okay. Okay, tomorrow's the day of the opening ceremony at Kirumi's school. Opening ceremony. But the fairies have already stopped running at this hour, right? What are you going to do? Kirumi? Kirumi? Alright, I got it. Kirumi suddenly turns around. Just like that, she runs up the staircase without saying a word. Where are you going, Kirumi? Well, Kirumi's gotta make it to the opening ceremony. Huh? Once more. Let's do it once more. Do what? Isn't it obvious? Let's time travel once more. Not a good idea. It's the same as like the Yuka ending. Let's see here. Oh no, it's not actually. It should be only 3 minutes long. Forgot what the SE actually stands for. There's two like Roman characters standing out amongst the kanji or whatever they're using. I don't know what. There might be multiple ways to write in Japanese. The SDR project. Okay. So now we got Kirumi colored. Let's look and see. Sumo crab. Okay. Fisherman. Okay. That's kind of not casual. Okay. I guess in the Japanese context it means that. Western world, I think a cult tends to refer to apostate religion, or religion generated by man for selfish reasons. Okay. Okay, this is like a note. In the Japanese version, Kirumi used the phrase "a kite produced by a hawk." This refers to the two species of birds, hawk and kite. The idea is that while hawks are considered to be expert predators with excellent eyesight, kites are considered to be much lower in both areas. Metaphorically, it would mean the ordinary child born of remarkable parents. Hence Kurumi's usage of it. Salt removal detergent. Okay. Thing is, salt dissolves in water very readily, so you don't need a detergent. So it's all bogus. Okay. Okay. I have jellyfish. Okay. That's... They added that in there. Okay. As well as having no heart shows up as well. Clones having no heart, the moon, everything, just jellyfish all over. Cool. Okay, I've got more musics. I wasn't even paying attention. There's two still missing. Got the Kirumi in from the PS2. I guess for this port, they decided to like mix up the endings from the various platforms. So like they got the Haruka ending, they decided to use the good end from the PC port, the Yuka end from the PSP port, the Kirumi end from the PS2 port, whatever. We got the Kirumi loop, of course. Still two missing here. Back to that later. We see endings. You see, I thought originally that I was getting Yuka bad end, Yuka good end, Haruka bad end, Haruka good end, because we're just filling in the endings I was getting from top to bottom. And the order wasn't any particular order of the endings, it was the order I was getting the endings, unlike the original files. However, now when I got the Kirumi bad end, it skipped 2 spaces. So now I know that probably it's actually these are numbering the endings, not the order in which I get the endings. And I just happened to get them in the order of the first 4. Probably because the fans who made this port were listing them from easiest or most common to more obscure in that order. So the ones I got first are the ones that are easiest to get, right? And so far down. I did manage to buck this order right in here, which means there was something that maybe the fan base thought was a little bit harder than the Haruka ending, but easier than the Kirumi ending in there. And that is also reflected in the movies, right? Yuka loop, Haruka loop, missing Kirumi loop, and there's one left there. The 2 remaining girls are Saki and Izumi, and so these are Saki and Izumi, I presume. Don't know the order of them though. And then we have more than half of the scenes now. Wait, let's see here. But these are too hard to deal with. CGs, close to all of them. We have a couple Yuka ones missing still, 3 Yuka ones missing. Got all the Haruka ones. And we presumably got all of the Kirumi ones as well. There's a bunch of Saki ones we don't have, and there's a bunch of Izumi ones we don't have, because we haven't done the Saki or Izumi endings, and a lot of these are on their routes in both either the first or second pass. Okay. So that was only half an hour of recording, so let's go in and try to see what we can do on the route where we beat Yuka in tennis. So that's this, I believe. I can't find it. I hear Yuka complaining in the thicket. Now the control key does work, so... Okay, so I fast forward to here, this is where the dialogue changes. Idiot, if we'd finished the game, and this is in the context of... She's right, she's technically the winner, since she won one more complete set than I did. Okay. Oh. Okay. You could have made a comeback? Yes. You really think so? Of course. She ponders it. Well, whatever. Let's hurry up and find the ball. We're wasting time. In the end, to her, a loss is a loss. Since Yuka is the winner, she only hears my blouse's excuses. This does not fast forward, though. Come on, Makoto, don't space out. Hurry up and look for the ball. Yuka urges me on as she continues to search through the bushes. Ha. As I begin to trudge through the thicket, I let out a weary sigh. Anyway, why did she just call me Makoto without any honorifics? Again, still can't fast forward. When I thought of this question earlier today, I just jumped to conclusions and thought I understood it, but when I really stopped to think about it, it doesn't make sense. Well, it's because you time traveled. And she also did. That's the key. After all, we only just met yesterday. I stop walking and look at her. Now they show you an art asset. Okay. The sunlight pours into the trees, allowing the green grass to soak in its beams. I can see Yuka beyond the trees, grasping her racket in her left hand as she looks for the ball. She looks a little bored. How could she urge me on if she's not even serious about this? Okay. You may read that if you like. You can, yep, same dialogue, just with an art asset. Why is that? My mind's a little jogged right now from that. Yes. Anyway, isn't it weirder that I didn't notice how unnatural this was until now? At that moment. Yuka lets out a shout. I found it. Yuka holds a tennis ball high over her head triumphantly. Her innocent smile completely blows away all my irritation. Here. Yuka gently throws the ball. I catch it with my right hand and place it in the plastic container. 40 balls. This is all of them. Hold on, I don't get a thank you or anything? Thanks. That tone, you're not grateful at all, aren't you? Can you fast forward? Nope. Let's try the other choice. I'm grateful. That sounded rather half-hearted. Well then, what do you want? You should thank me with more feeling in your voice. You did say it just now with feeling, or at least I did. It's because you said it like that you... After that, she let out a string of insults. Well, she's partially right, but no, I'm annoyed because she's right. I'm getting angrier and angrier. Like I said before, if your serves hadn't been so pathetic, we wouldn't have been in this mess. Pathetic? If they were so bad, then why didn't you try returning them? Because they were way too pathetic. Okay. Stop lording it over me and say it. Okay? I wasn't really lording it over you. I'm seriously thinking about it. Since I can only make you do one thing, I need to make it the craziest thing I can think of. This never really paid off. I mean, they used it in the Yuka ending, but it was just like, just don't come to the shrine with me. Okay. Bell. I have to wait for the sound effect. I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't cover for Okuhiko. Okay, I'm gonna try to go shopping with Saki and see what happens. Trying to hit a Saki route. Saki instinctively clings to my back. Mission accomplished. For a while, I pedal steadily. Then I start to pick up speed. Pleasant afternoon breeze runs through my whole body. Feeling of Saki. Okay, whatever. Can't skip this. Okay. Okay. Can't skip this. Huh. Izumi-san clears everything away when we finish and serves us some after-dinner black tea. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break here. Okay, I've got a choice I haven't gotten ever before. I don't know if this is... like, because I beat Yuka, or didn't actually beat her, but I beat her on those points you can beat her in at tennis, or because I made a different choice while going shopping with Saki. Don't know which it is, but I'll give the option to take an action as opposed to the inaction, because the inaction is the same as if I just wasn't given this choice. Is it alright for us to accept this? I speak up. I told you it's fine. It's the least I could do to make up for earlier. Izumi-san probably is talking about the pizza incident. Oh! But while I can understand her repaying Saki, I don't think we deserve such hospitality. Just then, I'm really sorry about all the trouble. Okuhiko says this. Doesn't seem like there's much shyness in the way he said that. By the way, Izumi-san, you said this earlier, didn't you? When it's nighttime, the shop is both a restaurant and a bar. Oh, can I skip? Okay. Okay, you're right. I wonder what that choice gets me. Does that allow me allow me an Izumi ending? Run over to them. Okay. Premonition. Second day. Gonna do a Saki target, so I'm gonna try to go to the pool. Kirumi and Saki. Okay, that Saki sprite still did not happen. Go. We have to go through this Haruka stuff. So I got something I can't skip. Okay. However, the whole Saki issue is still bugging me. For the context here. Okay. Is it really impossible to convince Saki to come along with us? I start to toy with this idea, but after considering how stubborn she is, I wonder whether or not just to forget about it. It'll probably be better to just leave her alone for a while so she can cool her head off. Well, then what should I do? Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, but first I'm gonna save. I'm worried about Saki after all. I'll pass. I'm worried about Saki. I feel kinda bad for her. What? Oni-chan, you're just scared, right? Yeah, maybe. I head for Saki's summer house once again, leaving behind a sulky Kirumi. I reach Saki's house, but as expected, she doesn't come out when I ring the doorbell. I decide to try something. Hey, Saki! 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 Saki-chan! No response. What should I do? Well, we're gonna override my Haruka ending saves. I'm gonna click break in. I'm gonna take the action over the inaction to try to get a different ending. My mind is made up. I begin to survey the building's perimeter by circling it. I wander aimlessly looking for an entrance, only to find that she wasn't actually in there. What are you doing? I'll call the cops on you. Saki appears out of the back door. Wait a minute, I wanted to talk to you. Well, I don't. She gives a humph and tries to slam the door shut. Just before the door closes, I grab Saki's arm and forcibly pull her towards me. Don't touch me! Hey, how'd you know that Haruka was a clone? It has something to do with what happened yesterday, right? I'm talking about what happened by the ocean, you remember, don't you? What happened? She still had that thing. That's why. That thing? That's why I took it from her. What's that thing? Hey, Saki. I try to press further as I shake her shoulders. But then, no! It's the bell, obviously. Saki shakes my arm off and retreats into her summer house. I think to immediately go after her and try to open the back door, but then I hear a small growl when a sharp pain spreads throughout my leg. Ow. I look and see the perpetrator is a slightly dirty dog. It's an extremely small puppy, clearly only a few months old at most. Get it off me! I desperately tear the puppy off my leg. When it realizes what I'm doing, it lets out a snarly, sweet growl. I get the sense that the dog isn't going to budge even a step, so I can't advance into the house. You Edward. The puppy and I continue to glare at each other, but in the end I lose. It's pointless to go making a puppy mad. It's such... Yeah, and it's so small. Okay. If I'd known it would end up like this, then I would have gone to the test of courage after all. No, you wouldn't have, because you're trying to get a Saki ending. I grumble to myself, then calm down the dog and leave through the backyard. When returned to the lodge, I contemplate the situation in solitude. Saki and Haruka, what did they fight about on the pier yesterday? Just what is that thing? Suddenly, the ruined basket on the table catches my eyes. Saki's now smashed basket. I remember the image of Saki stomping on the basket in her anger. The basket, huh? Am I supposed to get something out of that? The basket. How much time has passed? When I come to, I'm holding the basket while lying down in my room. It's completely busted, but I wonder, can I fix this? Maybe I should fix the basket and return it to Saki. One choice later, I don't have to save for another choice. Alright, it won't be easy, but I'll try fixing this. I begin to repair Saki's broken basket. To me, this is a step towards trying to sway Saki. When she sees the fixed basket, Saki will be like, "Wow, thank you, this is my favorite basket, I'm glad you fixed it. Honestly, I was worried about what I was going to do with it, but you're quite the handy one." No, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, this kind of thing can't be replaced with money. Is that so? Things like this should be treated with care. I know that quite well, and to think I said all those things to you yesterday, I'm very sorry. I understand, it's alright. Something like that should happen. I guess I'll apologize first, though. After that, I don't think I'll be any different from receiving a gentle It'll be any different from receiving a gentle scolding. I'm so smart, yep. Except this girl is incredibly unpredictable, so no. However, perhaps this wasn't such a good idea. Instead of fixing the basket, I think I'm only making the damage worse. As I'm about to put away the basket, Kirumi suddenly comes into the room. I frantically try to hide the basket, but it's too late. Oh, her interest piqued. Kirumi comes closer. Oh well, I'll explain the situation. Guess I might seem a little full of myself, though. Oni-chan, you're great. Huh? Kirumi is deeply moved. Really? This is definitely important to Saki-san. Kirumi understands that, but Oni-chan, you're only breaking it more this way. True. Okay then, Kirumi appreciates your sentiment. She'll fix it for you. It's fine, Kirumi, you don't have to. She'll do it. Let her do it. She wants to do it. Why? Because Kirumi feels sorry for Saki-san. No, Kirumi wants to show off her skills. You feel sorry for her, but Kirumi, Saki was the one who pushed you earlier, right? That's why Kirumi feels sorry for her. You don't understand. She didn't mean to do it. Huh? Oh, jeez. Anyway, Kirumi will take care of this. Kirumi throws me a glance as I dumbfoundedly watch her leave with the basket. I'm worried about whether Kirumi can fix it or not, but then again, I doubt I could do a better job than she can. I decide to leave the basket to Kirumi and drift off to sleep. We completely skipped something. I wake up feeling unusually refreshed. It's probably because I woke up so peacefully. You skipped the entire, what's it called? The entire hot spring scene. Maybe I should even try going for a walk. With this prospect in mind, I jump out of bed. As I grasp the doorknob, I think about last night. How Kirumi left with the basket after saying she'd fix it. However, she probably hasn't finished yet. That basket is vital to my plan. Should I wait for Kirumi to fix it? Or should I go see Saki? While thinking about this, I swing the door open with all my might to get some fresh air. Kya! Kirumi's in front of me. Because I pulled the door inward, Kirumi loses her balance and stumbles into the room. As she tries to stop herself from falling, she desperately tries to protect the basket in her hands. Geez, you're so rough when it comes to opening doors. Sorry, I didn't think there'd be anyone there, huh? Don't you tell me you already fixed it. What do you think? It's Kirumi magic. She thrusts the basket into my chest. I take the basket and examine it. There's some torn parts here and there, but it's usable. Good job. Kirumi's gained a few points in your book, hasn't she? Wait, don't tell me. What? I swallow my words. I just noticed it. Kirumi's eyes are red. No, it's fine. You worked really hard. Thank you, Kirumi. Yay, Kirumi's so happy, Oni-chan. You're the best. Kirumi embraces me. Hey, I'm a guy first and foremost, you know. Kirumi's legs are trembling. She might not have gotten much sleep. I take another look at the basket. There's a small charm tied to the side. It wasn't there yesterday. Must have been Kirumi who put it on. I instinct it further. It's just an ordinary charm. Ring, ring. There's a small bell attached to it that rings every time it sways. I place the fixed basket on top of my bed and decide to go with Kirumi to the living room for now. I walk into the dining room to see Yuka and Haruka eating breakfast. Huh, who made the sandwiches? Mokoto, can't you at least say good morning first? Anyway, I got some business to take care of. I'll see you all later. So you don't even get the choice. I inform Yuka, Haruka, and Kirumi of this, return to my room and get the basket and leave the lodge. Dishonest, okay. Though I came all this way to the summer house, my uneasiness is preventing me from pressing the buzzer. With a deep breath, I press the button. Saki immediately responds over the intercom. Oh, it's me, it's Mokoto. Could you wait a minute? She turns off the intercom. Oh, it seems she's in a good mood. She'll probably let me inside. As I hold the basket, I examine the house. I didn't notice it last night, but it's not half bad. I can't imagine how wealthy this Asakura family is, but judging by this house, I get the feeling that they're pretty well off. The summer house is incredible. I feel like it could have been designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, as rather than being over-the-top lavish, it seems to be organic and in sync with nature. Nature, huh? I suddenly remember the day I first met Saki. When she saw Tsukiya Hotel and the heated pool, she scoffed and used words like affectionate and worldly. Affection and worldly. She said that no matter how hard humans try, there's no way they can match up to natural beauty. She's very arrogant and rude, but I'm starting to think that her words were more sincere than condescending. If that's right, then when she sees this basket, Saki will be like, wow, thank you, this is my favorite basket. Okay. Exactly the same over again. Whose way? Well, when did she get here? So what are you doing here? I frantically show her the basket as I force a fake laugh. What about it? I thought for sure that this was probably your favorite, so I figured that it must have been, and? This is completely going at Saki's pace. So I decided I'd apologize from yesterday, and since I thought this was important to you, I figured that, I no longer have any clue what I'm saying. Saki snorts as if she's scornfully mocking me and turns around. She immediately begins to head back inside. Hey, wait, Saki, I chase after her. I enter the summer house and follow Saki into the living room. She turns around furious. Who said it was okay for you to come in? You just left without even fully hearing me out. It's not like I'm done talking. I thought I told you not to talk until I say so. She's the same as always, isn't she? I was naive if I was expecting some sort of Kirumi-like reaction from her. I sulk in my defeat. Saki glances at the basket. You fixed it, huh? It's alright. I'm going to throw it out anyway. Really? You can buy these anywhere, right? They're mass-produced. It's not like they're unique. Well, true, but still, sometimes these things can be sentimental, right? It's written all over your face. You're quite an easy person to read. What? You talk on a commoner's level. I tried to be modest here, and yet she's as full as herself as always. Oh really? Well then, I guess you're under no obligation to use this. I feel dumb. I'm fed up with dealing with this. I go to leave, still holding the basket. It really was a mistake for me to even worry about her. Wait. What? It's not like I said I wasn't going to use it anymore. Huh? Put it down. Take it yourself. Put it down over there. Alright. Casually place the basket on a nearby desk. I sneak a fleeting glance at Saki's face. She seems to look almost relieved. Granted, the gesture was so slight I could have mistaken it for something else. Looks pretty good, huh? There's no way it's as good as before, but... Well, it's not bad. Just as I thought, Saki is just being strangely stubborn again. Thank you would have been nice, oh well. I turn the basket around and show off the other side of it. Just then the bell in the charm rings loudly. And the plot advances! Suddenly, Saki's complexion changes. No! Saki screams, runs over to the basket, grabs it, and with a haunted expression begins searching for the source of the sound. Before long, Saki finds the charm. She violently tears off the dangling bell. The basket slips out of her hands. With her body visibly trembling, she runs over to the window. She swings it open and throws the bell away. Ha, Saki takes a deep breath. When I approach her, she backs away from me. Did that clone give it to you? What are you talking about? Talking about that clone. You mean Haruka? Her name doesn't matter. What does Haruka have to do with it? She's always chasing me. Saki, calm down. Always, even though I keep taking it and taking it. Saki? Even though that thing's just a plaything. What is that plaything? Stop! What is it? Stop! Stay away from me. Saki? I unconsciously approach her. Saki draws back until her back hits a wall. You don't really want to be in this situation if someone else walks in. Just when I close in on her, I hear a sound that sounds like a roar from the bottom of the earth. Okay, maybe it's just a puppy. The floor violently shakes. Is this where that becomes plot relevant? We finally learn the purpose of the earthquake. It's an earthquake. I firmly restrain the stumbling Saki as she lets out a sharp scream. We stay still like that without taking a step. I wonder how long it's been. We couldn't animate the sprite shaking. When I come to my senses, the earthquake has completely subsided. A quiet look at Saki, our eyes meet. Now that my nerves have settled down, I try to search for the right words to say, however Saki beats me to it. You can let go now. Alright. When I do, Saki quickly moves away and turns her back to me. Go home. But we're not done. I have something to do after this. Saki? Go home. The look in her eyes makes it clear that she isn't in the mood to talk. It can't be helped. I walk towards the exit. On my way, I turn around just once. Will your business take long? It's fine, it doesn't matter. Why are you clinging on this random girl you just met? Who obviously is not... Oh, whatever. It's the player character, they just written this way, whatever. Everyone will be meeting this evening at 5 at Luna Beach. If you'd like, you're welcome to join. She doesn't reply. All I can do is quietly leave. With that thought, I leave Saki's summer house. Why does Makoto know? Okay. Okay. So in this route, sometimes it's Izumi, sometimes it's Okuhiko, this time it's me. When I return to the lodge, I find Haruka outside the front, which means that Kirumi probably fixes the basket in all of the timelines. You just don't see it except in this one. Yo! I greet her as casually as possible. It's as if I'm trying to forget what had happened between me and Saki just a short while ago. But Haruka doesn't answer. What, is something wrong? Haruka glances at me. For some reason, her eyes are filled with scorn. Without saying a word, she briskly starts walking towards the forest road. Haruka! Wait a minute. What? What, are you going somewhere? Yes. Where are you going? Nowhere really. Nowhere really? Well then I'm going. Hey wait. I try to run after Haruka when someone grabs me on the shoulders from behind. When I turn around I see that it's Okuhiko. Ishihara, don't you understand you're bothering Haruka-chan? Huh? You really don't understand girls' feelings, do you? Who are you to talk? While resisting the urge to punch Okuhiko, I shake him off and head towards the forest road. I've lost sight of Haruka. Having lost my destination, and having nothing to do and nowhere to go, I go up to the terrace. I can see the deep blue ocean from the terrace. As I vacantly gaze out at the ocean, my thoughts drift to Saki and Haruka. When Saki heard the sound of the bell on the charm, she really freaked out. On the other hand, she had the dream, didn't she? On the other hand, as soon as I got back from Saki's summer house, Haruka became cold to me. Just what happened between those two? Tired of thinking, I looked towards the forest path to see Saki's retreating figure walking at a quick pace. Now that I think about it, she did say she had something to do. I'm curious. Alright, resolving myself, I decide to try to do some eavesdroppy, stalky stuff, which is in character for me on this route. When Saki exits the forest road, she arrives at the coastline. She walks east for nearly 5 minutes and goes down a side road. The street has cherry blossom trees. There were cherry blossoms in a place like this, but now isn't the time to be admiring them. I concentrate my gaze only on Saki's back and resume the pursuit. Sooner or later, she's gonna find out you've been following her, and it's gonna be very awkward. Before long, I exit the tree-lined street and arrive at Viewpoint Park. It offers an unbroken view of the grand blue sea that lies before me. Saki heads toward the lighthouse standing in the center of the park. Just then another person appears from the shadow of the lighthouse. I instinctively almost let out a gasp. It's Haruka. Saki and Haruka immediately begin to quarrel for some reason, so they had an appointment. It's the same as back then, just before the monstrous wave struck that pier. But Saki went to go have an appointment with Haruka. It's like she's not avoiding her. That's the weird thing. I feel my heart beating loudly. Now in the Haruka route, Haruka ends up with the bell. I take a large roundabout path so they don't notice me and hide myself on the opposite side of the lighthouse. It's a place where I can hear their argument very well. Stop accusing me, I don't have it anymore. You're lying, you took it away. She does have it. We know for certain. Do you intend to threaten me forever? Then just give it back to me. I didn't want to see it again. Please stop lying. I'm not lying. You're lying. You're lying. Give it back. Give me back that bell. Bell. Now that I think about it, when Saki heard that bell on the charm, and in that instant, a scene flies by my mind. That hopeless dream I had on the morning of the 1st. It couldn't have been that bell they're talking about. Is that bell? No, that's impossible. That's impossible. I'm not in a video game. I shake my head countless times to get rid of that delusion. Anyway, right now I've got to do something about the situation. When I think about that, I peek out from the shade of the lighthouse and observe those two. Their quarrel has now gotten to a physical level, for the two are grappling. Saki manages to shake Haruka's hands off her and slowly draws back. Haruka steadily closes the distance between her and Saki as she throws a furious glare at her. Saki slowly shakes her head. Haruka grabs Saki's hand again, but this time Saki thrusts Haruka away with all her strength. Haruka falls flat on her back. She's not moving at all. Saki shakes her head once again, trembling slightly, and immediately breaks off into a run. I come out from the shade and immediately rush over to Haruka's side. It seems she's lost consciousness. I lift Haruka up in my arms and shake her body. Haruka, hang in there. The people who've noticed the uproar begin talking. Haruka. Suddenly Haruka's eyes open and move around restlessly. Makoto? I silently nod. Haruka raises half her body up and blankly stares into my eyes. Just then, Haruka's eyes suddenly overflow with tears. Haruka. I hold out my hand to help her get to her feet, but she pushes it away. Don't worry about me. Huh? Haruka stands up and moves away as if to avoid me. What are you saying? I saw what happened just now. It doesn't concern you, Makoto. It doesn't concern you, so. Haruka looks away from me and walks off. She quickens her smooth pace and starts getting farther and farther from me. For some reason, all I can do is stare at her dumbfoundedly. When I come to my senses, Haruka's already gone. Feeling somewhat senseless, I trudge down the road I came and head back. I exit the tree-lined road and come out the coastline. Just then, I feel a stare from somewhere. When I shift my attention towards that direction of Moon Beach, I see Saki firmly staring at me. I am instinctively paralyzed by her intense gaze. Saki soon averts her gaze and starts running in the direction of Moon Beach. I quickly chase after her. Saki doesn't slow down. Even though I'm running as fast as I can't catch up. Why is she running away? That's all I can think about. I don't even understand why I'm chasing after Saki in the first place. Because you want what you can't get, right? Saki gets onto Moon Beach from the coastline and passes right in front of Luna Beach. She makes a beeline towards Tsukiya Hotel. Not once does she slow down. When we reach the hotel, Saki rushes into the lobby from the front entrance. I desperately chase after her. Just then a woman comes out from the lobby and we crash into each other. The woman and I fall on top of each other. Kya! Sorry. As I frantically get up and lend a helping hand to the woman, I breathe a sigh of relief. It's Izumi-san. Judging from her appearance, it seems she was delivering a pizza or something to the hotel. Okay. Well, that doesn't happen in the other timelines. Oh, if it isn't Makoto-kun. Are you alright, Izumi-san? If so, then I've got to go. Before I can, Izumi-san tightly grabs my hand. Wait a minute. I saw your expression earlier. Huh, expression? As a penalty, would you help me from now on? I don't really get it, but I've got to catch Saki right now. Sorry, Izumi-san, I'm in a hurry right now. It's fine, isn't it? At any rate, it's been decided that we'll all gather tonight at the shop, right? Yes, but... Makoto-kun. Yes, ma'am. Last night, Kirumi and I pulled an all-nighter, and I've treaded along all day exhausted. Do you know why? You should, Makoto-kun. I see that basket. I thought it was strange at first. I thought that even if Kirumi pulled an all-nighter, there's no way she could have fixed it by herself in one night. But I really have urgent business. What, Makoto-kun, do you plan on abandoning us, sisters? Izumi-san's eyes get moist as she suddenly transforms into a frail young woman. Why has it turned out this way? Feels like I'm being mean to Izumi-san, doesn't it? Even though Kirumi and I are really in trouble, even though we need your help, Makoto-kun? No, Izumi-san, please don't look at me with those eyes. Makoto-kun only sees us as tools to be used. When we run out of use, he plans to throw us out like used up empty tubes of toothpaste. Well, that sounds fake. And to become flustered, Izumi-san continues to attack me while I'm cornered. It's fine, I understand. Kirumi and I will just work our delicate and frail bodies to the bone. But when we collapse from overworking ourselves, could you at least nurse us back to health? Izumi-san turns around and starts frailly walking back towards Luna Beach. I should probably just give up on chasing Saki. I'm Izumi-san, I'm really worried about you, so I'll help you. Just then, Izumi-san quickly turns towards me while a smile rises on her face. What about your urgent business? You're worried about Saki-chan, aren't you? How does she know that? It's fine, Saki-chan will also definitely come. My intuition says so. Well then, let's go shopping. Makoto-kun, you've heard about today's barbecue, right? Barbecue? You haven't heard? Everyone's gathered today at Luna Beach at 5. Yeah, I heard about it, but... So we're all having barbecue today? Izumi-san continues while giving me a deep nod. That's why we have a lot of preparations to make before then. But because the car isn't working now, I don't think I'm capable of carrying all the groceries I'm going shopping for all on my own. It'd mean a lot if you could come with me, Makoto-kun. Do some farmer's walks. Oh, I see. In the end, I have no match for Izumi-san. Thus it's decided that I go running about shopping for ingredients in order to prepare for the barbecue. Maybe I should have gotten something here, but didn't. I inform Yuka of something, that might be a glitch. The barbecue is finally set up. It lets me skip this. Saki and Haruka's happy faces. How are they both so happy when they fought mere hours ago? Kirumi, come here. What? When everyone else become engrossed in conversation with each other, I pick that time to casually call Kirumi over towards a nook. This may be an abrupt question, but have Saki and Haruka been in this mood since the beginning? I quickly glance towards the circle of people that are now formed by the plate. Oh, that's right, Oni-chan, you don't know? Did something happen? Yeah, guess what? When she says that, Kirumi suddenly begins to whisper. According to her, Saki originally had no intention of coming to Luna Beach. But then Okuhiko managed to calm her down and persuade her to come along with him. Oh, okay, so Okuhiko does anyway. Okuhiko actually managed to persuade Saki? He's good. I feel a bit of admiration. But is Haruka okay? Yeah, it seems you don't have to worry much about Haruka-san. She just has a concussion, which causes permanent damage for the rest of your life. Don't worry about Haruka? Then are you saying that those two have made peace? Kirumi wonders about that. Kirumi doesn't think she would go as far as to say that. To put it some way or another, at the very least, Saki does seem a little bothered by it all after all. Well, that's probably true. Given that she quarreled with Haruka today at Viewpoint Park, it would have taken a miracle to cheer her up so much. Oh, it's not like Kirumi can tell if she feels that way or not. It's just that Kirumi happens to think. I see. Thank you, Kirumi. I pat her on the head. I go back into the circle with everyone. I can skip now. Saki and Haruka, what exactly is their history? You're lying, give it back, give me that bell. Bell. So that bell Haruka mentioned, the same as that one? I'm completely exhausted both physically and mentally. Though I don't want to, I find myself drifting off to sleep. I've got to ask Saki. About the bell, about Haruka. I've got to ask her all of it. Despite my efforts, I lose consciousness in the blink of an eye. April 5th. Hidden kindness. What route am I on? Saki route! I hit it. New route! So I managed to get this one my first try. That was basically you just gotta do Yuka first and beat Yuka in tennis, essentially, I guess. It's not that I had a nightmare or heard a loud sound. I just somehow woke up for no reason. I take a look at my watch, which I'd placed on my bedside. 10:10 a.m. It's probably only been about 3 hours since I went to bed. My mind is surprisingly wide awake, so I try to do multiplication tables in my mind to help me go back to sleep. I try this countless times. It's no use, I'm too alert. Resigning myself, I slip out of bed and head out to the living room. Then we hear Okuhiko sleep talking again. Of course, there's no one in the living room. I let out a sigh in the quiet empty room. I can hear Okuhiko snoring from up in the loft. Then all of a sudden, hey wait! Okuhiko suddenly shouts in a roaring voice. I look up in surprise. Good work! It seems like he's just sleep talking. But this time he says good work. That's different. Whoa man, what kind of dream is he having anyway? I ignore Okuhiko and casually decide to try going outside the lodge. From an opening in the forest, I can vaguely see that the lights in Saki's summer house are on. Notice he does not drink a beer this time. That's right, there's something I've got to ask Saki. I determinedly head towards the summer house, in the middle of the night, of course. Like 3 in the morning. In any case, there's just too many things about Saki that are bothering me. The bell, Haruka. I'll make sure I get the full story this time. I'm unusually confident right now, which is weird. When I arrive at the summer house, I start to reach the buzzer. I mean, at least this is entertaining. At that time, I feel like I can hear Saki's voice. I try to straighten my ears. Wait, didn't I tell you to wait? I was right. I walk towards the direction of the voice. I circle halfway around the wide grounds and arrive at the backyard. There's light coming from the area around the back door. Saki's lively voice grows louder and louder as I get closer. I can also hear some kind of high-pitched bark. I stop and stare. Saki's there. She's wearing a pair of glasses and is holding in her arms a playful puppy by her feet. It seems to be a stray puppy. It's the source of that bark I heard just now. You worried me. Where'd you go? The puppy she's holding happily licks her cheek. She lets out a ticklish laugh. I'm surprised to see Saki so different from her usual self. Of course, I'm not talking about her glasses. I'm talking about her how gentle, peaceful, and content she looks. Okay, wait there for a little bit. Saki puts the puppy down and disappears into the house. The dog wags its tail back and forth and starts barking in its high-pitched voice. I approach the back door. The puppy almost notices me, so I head for cover. Saki comes out. She's holding a plastic container with something inside. The puppy vigorously wags its tail as it barks in anticipation. Shh, you will get a treat if you're naughty. Saki scolds the puppy a bit before opening the plastic container. Inside are leftovers of a splendid meat dish. Saki crouches down and presents the plastic container to the puppy. It excitedly chews on the meat. I see. I recall the quarrel at the barbecue. The beef she took back then, she actually planned to split it with this puppy. It seems that she felt very uneasy about stealing the beef from us, but at that point she'd gone too far to retreat. Don't eat so quickly or you'll choke. Saki gently pets the puppy on its back, her face brimming with affection. Even though she's nothing but extremely aggressive and foul-mouthed towards the rest of us. She really is a kind girl deep down, isn't she? I quietly leave so that Saki doesn't notice me. My thoughts on questioning Saki have completely disappeared. It seems like I'll be going to sleep in a good mood. That feel-good state lingers as I go to bed and allows me to quickly fall asleep. But that slumber is brief. It's so noisy. Who is it? Just when I finally got into a good mood. Just before I can fall asleep, that sound disturbs it. It's the sound of tapping on the window. A small window on the wide ceiling. Someone's tapping it, or it could just be a bird. Irritated, I stand on top of my bed. Somehow they got on the ceiling and tapped the skylight. I stand on my tiptoes and open the ceiling window. Pulling up with both my arms, I raise the upper half of my body outside the window. It's Saki. I saw you there. Saki tapped on the window with a long tree branch. When Saki notices me, she averts her face as she becomes flustered and talks rapidly. I'm just in the middle of a walk. Come again? It's not like I came here to see you. What? In other words, it's all just a coincidence. Right. It's just that while I'm here, thank you for this morning. Huh? For the basket. While I'm here? Well, then that means I thanked you. Wait. Good night. Hey, I said wait. Will you wait here? Okay, stay right here. Don't run off. Without waiting for Saki to reply, I shut the window and get off the bed. I quickly change my clothes and sneak outside. Saki. I abruptly shout in alarm. Where is she? I'm right here. Oh good, you surprised me. I'm the one who surprised, yelling like that, so what is it? Huh? Your business. What's your business with me? I don't have any, but then I'm going home. Hey, I don't have to have business with you, do I? You've come all this way after all. Didn't I just tell you that coming here in the middle of my walk was a complete coincidence? Why in the middle of the night? Doesn't matter, does it? If it doesn't matter, then come here. No way, the stars will move. Stars? I suddenly look up. I'm taken aback as my heart is awestruck. And Saki runs off. Okay, the cloudless night sky is adorned with bright stars. I didn't notice them at all. The stars around here are at the height of their beauty around this season. Do you like stars, Saki? Not particularly. I get it, you definitely like them, right? I regret that I happen to know the name for this. It's called tsundere. Or tsundere. Yes, too much internet has happened. I remember what happened when I went to the summer house earlier. I feel that the sight of Saki looking at the stars, really suits her just as the sight of her being affectionate to that puppy was. Saki hangs her head down and walks quickly. Where are you going? Over there. She starts walking towards the forest path. Then I'll go too. Don't get close to me. Understood, mistress. For some reason, I'm not angry. A strange emotion stirs inside me as I follow her. I don't know how far she plans on going, but Saki steadily descends the forest path past Hill Road. I follow her as I leisurely look up at the stars. Looking at this, I haven't studied this art before, but that's a pretty steep grade. That's like a 40% grade. Oh well. I don't know the names of the constellations, but looking at them like this feels strangely romantic. Okay, well. Maybe it's only 30 or 20%, but that's pretty steep for an unpaved road. I once tried to drive a two-wheel drive sedan up a 20% grade, well-graded, unfinished driveway, and the wheels spun. Because there wasn't enough traction on the dirt at that grade. Given it was also a light car, but whatever. I remember that there were times when I would innocently look at the stars when I was a kid. At that time, I didn't think that there was a world where you thought about girls in terms of like or dislike. It's a very nostalgic time, but the current me. Makoto-kun, why are you walking so slowly? Hey Saki, could you come here for a second? Why? You'll see. The current me already knows the world exists. That world exists. I can't return to who I was. I've already learned too many things, both good and bad. What? Saki asks this as she tilts her head. Well, this is really fan servicey and awkward. And I don't want to play it. But I committed to this thing. I probably will not read this aloud. How do you plan on taking responsibility for this? Responsibility is just a little mud. It's not something to worry about, is it? I might be fine with it, but I sure am not. Absolutely not. Seems this rich girl is quite the neat freak. We got up to head back. We found that we had gotten mud on our clothes, causing Saki to start a hissy fit. Understood, mistress. I shall clean it off as you desire. I began to write on the mud using the back of my hand. Could you not be so irresponsible? Okay. What, am I your slave? Swear that you will definitely won't get mud on me. What? Swear it. Why do I have to do something like this? Although I grumble in my mind, I reluctantly make the oath. I definitely won't get mud on you, Saki. Henceforth, you will not forgive any living creature who gets mud on me, with no exceptions. All right now, swear it. Huh? So if that means if something gets mud on you, I have to exact revenge on it no matter what? Are you complaining? As a commoner, you should be kneeling before me. Oh brother, she has quite the nerve. I should pay attention to what the voice actor sounds like, but she really is a rich girl. But I wouldn't be able to compare it because I don't usually... No, I wouldn't know what to compare it to. Even so, Saki seems to be having a lot of fun. While looking at her face, I'm starting to figure that this isn't so bad. Saki really is a kind person. She's just unable to express that very well. Right now, I realize I'm the only one to have seen the essence of Saki's true character. I think at the very least I can listen to what she has to say, right? In the morning I wake up, my head feeling kinda blank. It might be because a whole lot of things happened yesterday. I'm in a dreamy state of mind, unable to sort things out in my head. When I absent-mindedly enter the living room, I find Yuka with a very sharp expression. Good morning. Morning, where are Haruka and Okuhiko? They've already left. Both of them? Yes, both of them. Does it bother you? No, just surprised that Haruka would be in the mood to go with Okuhiko. Seems that Okuhiko is kinda serious about Haruka, huh? Serious? That guy's a clear menace to women. Up until now, yeah, but if he seriously falls in love with the girl, then maybe she'll start to return his feelings. Well, he's rich. That's not it, he just really understands women. Uh-huh. So, Yuka, you like Idiot, it's not like that. Anyway, what are you going to do from now on? Well, I'm a bit concerned about something. You mean Saki? Well, yeah. Why are you so concerned about her? She's just a... Yuka, do you ever think you may simply be misunderstanding Saki? It's not the... If that's the case, then why don't you bring her here and solve the misunderstanding, huh? Hey, why are you mad? Hurry up and bring her here. Seems Yuka's still upset about the barbecue yesterday. Our friendships are falling apart because of something this stupid. Particularly Saki and Yuka's, who are old friends from middle school. If possible, I want the two of them to make up. Alright, I understand, then I'll go invite her over. Will you wait for a bit? Fine. I quickly head to Saki's summer house. When I arrive at the front door, I hear sounds from the backyard. Perhaps Saki might be there. I circle around the house. Yo, Saki. Makoto-kun? Can you come to the lodge now? Alright, I'll go later. Why, I've come here as your escort, your highness. It's fine, just go ahead. Saki's acting strangely restless. When I see that, I suddenly realize it. Saki's waiting for that puppy. It will come here seeking breakfast. I close in on Saki's ear and whisper this. So you're waiting for it? Huh? So she backs away from me and glares at me. How do you know that? I saw what happened last night. You gave it meat, didn't you? You saw it? Yeah, my reaction would be, yes, you saw a little, yes, you did see it. You saw a little bit too much. Do you understand what a restraining order is? It was cute. That was just, I dropped it on the floor and just thought it would be a bit of a waste, so I gave the beef to it. Besides, it's a really dirty puppy. It's not cute. No, when I said it was cute, I was talking about you, Saki. And this guy is just, huh? That puppy will definitely come again. It's become a sort of habit for it, after all. If it comes again, I'll just send it away. I don't want a stray dog clinging to me, you know. Oh, here it is. I hear rustling in the bushes and the puppy shows up. When it recognizes Saki, it dashes toward her, and then it jumps at her feet. It lively wags its tail as it begins to whine and beg. It seems that it's completely attached to Saki. It's obvious the puppy has known her for a long time. Except it's just a puppy, so by definition it has not existed for a long time. Despite this, Saki stands rock still. Now that she says she doesn't want to cling to me, she's reaching the point where she can't back out. Well, this is just typical of her. I see, I thought there was something weird about the whole pizza thing. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the day we met at Luna Beach. Kirumi made a mistake with the pizza delivery. You were planning on giving it to this little guy, right? No way. I thought you were really overreacting back then, getting so angry over a late pizza. Now I see it's because you wanted to feed this little guy. You're wrong. Furthermore, it took you 6 hours to go to complain for compensation. Why? Were you having so much fun playing with it that you didn't want to leave? You're wrong, that's not it. At this time, you've been taking care of it way before it came to this island, haven't you? You said you're wrong. Didn't I tell you that I don't want this wild dog to be clinging to me? Saki steps back and tries to run away from the puppy at her feet. She raises her hand as if to say shoo. The puppy innocently approaches Saki. When it does this, Saki gets desperate and tries to drive it away with more force than last time. You don't have to hide it. I'm not hiding anything. Suddenly she crouches down, she picks up the puppy and lightly throws it. Shoo, go away. The puppy misunderstands, thinking that Saki is trying to play with it. It happily returns to her feet. Saki lightly throws it again. The puppy returns to Saki. Stay away from me, leave now! She tries again and again to drive it away, but the puppy always returns. It gets so playful at times that it's starting to get Saki's clothes dirty with mud and dust. Go ahead to the lodge. When I sent it away, I'll go there as soon as I can. Saki's eyes are faintly blurred as she says this. As usual, the dog jumps up on her. The puppy's muddy footprints get on Saki's chest. It's like it's pressing a stamp on her. Alright. I just got a good idea. In the first place, Saki is being too much of a hypocrite. An occasional drastic measure is alright. Don't I have to exact revenge? I pick up the dog on my arms and I lightly hit it several times. I'm going easy on it, but... What are you doing? Saki's face turns pale when she hears the puppy scream. I gently let go of the puppy. The puppy runs away, frightened of me. Saki tries to chase it and it jumps on her chest, wiping more mud on it. I can't forgive any living creature that gets mud on you. But it's just a puppy, right? I made a vow, it doesn't matter if it's a puppy or not. The puppy timidly comes back. I lightly kick it with my tiptoes. That was my intention, but the puppy is knocked down for a third time and lets out a sharp yelp. Stop! Saki holds the fallen over puppy in her arms. It's like a mother protecting her child from a life and death situation. The puppy cries into Saki's chest. Saki turns around and looks at me. Her glare is sharply piercing me. Nope, it's just, I kinda lost my head back there. No, that's not it. How do I put it? My excuses prove futile as I receive a slap from Saki. The Saki before my eyes is trembling with rage. Go away, I don't want to see your face of someone who would be so cruel to this puppy. Still holding the dog, Saki runs into her house. I stand frozen in place, dumbfounded. My cheek is hotly stinging with pain. When I return to the lodge, Yuka's waiting on the terrace. Judging by that face, you crashed and burned, huh? Wait, what? Did the swelling give it away? Huh? That's not what I meant, but what? Did she hit you? Well, it was just some petty revenge. Somehow I thought that was the case. Saki hasn't changed from the past. She's selfish and never apologizes even when she knows she's wrong. Wait a minute, you've got it all wrong. It wasn't because of that. It was my fault that it happened. It just sounds like you're spoiling her and letting her get full of herself. I'm telling you that's wrong. You really are misunderstanding Saki. You think so? Of course. But Saki's still obsessed with the magician's portrait incident. Magician's portrait? Now to think about it, didn't Saki say something to Yuka on the 3rd? Shut up, Yuka. Why don't you just go and draw your little pictures like you did back then? It was during our middle school culture festival. The class was drawing a picture called The Magician's Portrait. I I wonder how long we drew it for. Anyway, it covered one of the walls of our classroom. Everyone divided the work by coloring their own portion of it. Saki was in your class at the time. Yeah. You need a rough sketch before the coloring, right? Saki and I each drew one. We disagreed over which to use, so we left it up to the class vote. So in the end they picked yours, Yuka. Saki looked very bitter. She was almost scary to look at. That's when it happened. When what happened? She ripped up your sketch? The complete painting was totally destroyed. Someone snuck into the school in the middle of the night and did it. Huh? Everyone blamed her, though she insisted they were wrong. Even though the homeroom teacher gave her a warning, she absolutely refused to apologize. And that's not all. She told me no matter what you draw, it'll never be called art. But if you like drawing so badly, then go ahead and draw forever. She said that in front of the whole class. I didn't want to talk about that incident, but Saki's been obsessed with it the whole time. That's why she lunges at me whenever something happens. Did Saki really do it? It seems a janitor on patrol saw her running. I don't know if Saki really did it, but she hasn't grown out of being so stubborn. It's giving me a headache, okay? Could you just forget about the whole Saki thing? But Saki's really a nice person, right? I said to just forget about Saki. No, I can't. The girls are fighting over me. Since before we came to this island, she's been taking care of this strange puppy the whole time. This stray puppy the whole time. It's a very small puppy. She took the beef yesterday because she wanted to give it to the puppy. Well then, why didn't she just say that in the first place? She wouldn't. She's the kind of person who would never say that. Don't you understand? It's part of that stubborn personality you were talking about. Mokoto? She really is a nice person. Destroying a picture? She's not the kind of person who could do that. I get it. So will you call Saki here one more time? I give her a deep nod and run down the short staircase. I start walking towards Saki's summer house. I hear the cheerful voices of a man and a woman. When I look towards the forest path, I see Haruka and Okuhiko returning. Over there, I see Haruka with an expression I've never seen on her before. Expression brimming with emotion. Up until now, I've never could have imagined such a human-like expression from Haruka. To be honest, I'm shocked. My mental state is like that of a father who is watching his daughter with a boyfriend for the first time. I probably feel something close to that. Hey Ishihara, you're sure up late. You ought to rise early on beautiful days like this. Or maybe it's you they speak of in the spring, one sleeps a sleep that knows no dawn. Shut up, I don't need your help. Being jealous is unsightly for a man. You should try acting a little cooler. Didn't I just say I didn't need your help? Don't speak until I say so. Oh, I guess this is where those that lie down with dogs shall get up with fleas applies, huh? Nani? I recommend that you shouldn't get influenced so much by hysterical rich girls, though it seems like she really pulled a number on you. What was that? Okay, did you hear that? I'm taken aback when I notice Haruka's stare. Her glare coldly pierces me, even more unnerving now that her expression isn't its usual deadpan self. Haruka? Haruka suddenly averts her glare, slips past me, and walks up the stairs. Okuhiko follows her lead. I turn towards the departing Haruka, unable to say anything. A very unpleasant feeling grabs my heart, and I turn to go towards Saki's summer house once again. I don't see Saki anywhere. The summer house is so still and silent. It's kind of feels like a haunted house. Despite that, I pace around the building many times. It's as if I'm trying to hunt down Saki's lingering scent. This feels like a scene taken straight out from a romance novel. Probably because it is. I give up and turn around to try to return to the lodge when the puppy shows up from out of the bushes up front. Sees the puppy also recognizes me. Its innocent black eyes make me feel a little guilty. Although I wasn't trying to, I still ended up hurting it. However, the puppy hobbles over to me. Begins to coil around my feet like a spoiled child. I slowly crouch down and pet the puppy on the head. Delighted, the puppy jumps up to my knees with its forelegs. Where did your mistress go? The puppy lets out a lonely whine. I leave the puppy and return to the lodge. Yuka isn't in the living room. Call Saki over here one more time. Even though she asked that, where did she go? I find Haruka lounging on the sofa. Do you know where Yuka went? I ask Haruka. She silently shakes her head. I'll take that as a no. Now that I think about it, it doesn't seem like Okuhiko is here either. Haruka quietly points towards the bathroom. From there, I can hear the sound of water running. It seems that Okuhiko is taking a shower. As I lightly nod in affirmation several times, my eyes wander around for no reason. I'm thinking about what to do from now on. No, I don't even need to think about it. This situation, it's a rare chance where Haruka and I are all alone. I'll try asking Haruka what I can't ask Saki. Just as I think this and try to talk to her, Haruka suddenly speaks. Makoto, there's too much you don't know. Huh? It would be best if you didn't get any closer to her. Because you don't know. You don't know what kind of person she really is. How terrifying she is. Her sudden words leave me dumbfounded. By her, she means Saki, right? Say, Haruka, why do you hate Saki so much? Saki's really a nice girl, I know that. You trust her more than my words? You're wrong, it's not an issue of which one of you I trust. I understand, it's fine. No, it's not. Haruka, what happened between you and Saki in the past? The bell, that bell is connected somehow, right? Come on, won't you tell me? Why don't you ask her? You claim to understand her after all. Haruka? Haruka turns her back to me. It seems she's no longer in the mood to talk. In this awkward atmosphere, Okuhiko comes out of the bathroom with the worst possible timing. I turn my face away to ignore him, but as expected, Okuhiko speaks anyway. Ishihara, it really would be best for you to be careful around Saki-san. This guy, did he hear everything? Well, it's just my intuition. She's a hard one to read. I feel as if there's something dark, hidden deep in her heart, that if we try to pry will cause trouble. What is he saying? He doesn't even know a thing about Saki. I don't want to listen to Okuhiko anymore. I'm all blinded. I silently head for the front door and start to reach for the doorknob. Ishihara, be careful. Don't do anything offensive to Saki-chan right now. As I'm leaving, Okuhiko says this. I resist the urge to punch him as I open the front door. I'm not heading anywhere in particular. It's just that it's way too unpleasant inside the lodge right now. Everyone is talking so negatively about Saki. In reality, I think this is all just a huge misunderstanding. Of course, I don't think Saki is guilt-free either. But to hate her this much seems unfair. Just then I see the silhouette of a girl walking towards the harbor. Yuka or Saki, Yuka or Saki. Judging from how most of these work out, it's probably Saki. Though she's far away, I can tell she's on the road that leads to the shopping district. It's Saki, yep. I finally got one of those right. I instantly begin to run towards her. I realized that I was lying to myself when I said I'm not heading anywhere in particular. I went to look for Saki. Because I want to see her. I finally catch up to her at the entrance of the shopping district. Saki. It takes me a while to realize that I'm shouting at the top of my lungs. Everyone in the street turns their heads my way. Saki! I don't care. I call out to her in a loud voice once more. Saki turns around. Saki gets extremely embarrassed in public. My heart is burning with fire. I turn towards her as fast as I can. Koto-kun? Place my hands on my knees, panting heavily, and look up at Saki's face. My heart is brimming with deep emotions. As if I've finally found someone I've been looking for many years. Oh, this is stupid. Why are you shouting like that? Why were you running like a complete idiot? I wanted to see you! Huh? I wanted to see you, Saki. Saki stares firmly at my face. And before long she bursts out into laughter. This happens in the middle of the shopping district. I raise my body up, wiping the sweat away. Saki is still laughing. Why are you laughing? Because you two are so alike. Okay, she's gonna bring up that boy now, right? You too? I instantly say this, I realize it. She's talking about that puppy. In other words, oh, I'm just an ordinary mutt. Okay. So I've been demoted from slave to stray dog? When she hears me say that, Saki instantly bursts out into loud laughter. Seeing that happy face of hers causes me to laugh as well. Our loud laughter echoes throughout the shopping district. We ignore the bewildered glares of people on the street as we continue to laugh. Saki and I aimlessly go to the harbor. Our laughter has refreshed the mood. I can just forget about minor details for now. At the very least, I understand Saki. Except I haven't even gone through the second pass yet, so I really don't, but whatever. That alone is enough, isn't it? When I was a kid, I wanted to raise a dog. I'd often give food to stray dogs, which annoyed my parents. They'd say, "What are you going to do if it gets attached to you?" When that happens, you start to beg, pleading pitifully to raise it. But after a few days, people get tired of the dog and kick them away when they follow you around. It seems that Saki has misunderstood my actions from this morning. If that's the case, then it's irresponsible to pity it from the start. You think so? Of course. You want to say that's wrong? I don't think it was all a mistake, but how do I put it? Isn't just being able to feel sympathetic towards a pitiful dog in need the important thing? I don't think it's irresponsible if you think that way. It's not wrong to be sympathetic towards it. If anything, the way you've helped that puppy only shows how kind and selfless you are. The most important thing is to ask yourself, how willing are you to take care of it and go from there? A slightly surprised expression appears on Saki's face. What am I saying? Even I don't really understand what I'm talking about. As I laugh in an attempt to distract me from my embarrassment, Saki frantically looks away from me. I understand just a little bit. But how many people could actually think that way? The world is full of egotists, people who are only concerned about themselves. I can't trust people because they're like that. She can't trust people? So is that why you like plants and animals so much? That's right, they don't speak words, they don't need to. Saki? Saki suddenly begins walking. She quickly heads towards the pier. She walks straight to the tip of the pier. I follow her. The sea breeze blows strongly. The approaching waves crash against the pier, shooting up white sheets of spray. Saki is at the tip of the pier, not moving an inch. I stand next to Saki and quietly start talking to her. You can't trust people because they speak with words? Why? Because they lie. Lie. Humans are just liars. That's why I can't. The waves break and a sheet of spray hits Saki in the face. But Saki doesn't seem fazed by the water and just silently stares at the sea. Because they lie, I can't trust humans. In that instant I recall Yuka's words, the magician's portrait. I say this out loud. Saki instantly trembles in shock and turns towards me. It was during your cultural festival in middle school. Did Yuka tell you? I give her a slow nod. I wanted to look at it all alone. Saki's eyes fill with tears. I just wanted to see it alone when no one was around. The instant she says this, large tears pour from her eyes. She tries to control herself by standing rigidly as if she's rooted into the ground, but her thin shoulders quiver. She clenches her hands into tight fists. The tears flying off her face fall onto those small fists. The magician Yuka drew was really incredible, wasn't it? Saki looks at me. Her gaze is filled with loneliness. Saki nods while biting her lip. New tears overflow her eyes. She's trying to overcome her bitterness. That's right. Saki was bitter. She was just bitter. That's why she snuck into school in the middle of the night, in order to see the picture all alone. She must have been crying like she is now when she looked at the magician's portrait. Was it foolish pride? That might be it. It was just the pride of a selfish rich girl who was ignorant of the ways of the world. In a way, I find it kind of cute. I think that Saki is cute from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Cute is not something you usually, think from the bottom of your heart. Hey Saki, I was thinking. It seems a janitor on patrol saw Saki running. Yuka said that, but in reality you weren't running away because you destroyed the painting, right? Huh? You just didn't want anyone to see you cry. Isn't that right? Saki gives a light, lonely nod while muttering. The only ones who will listen to what I have to honestly say is the stray cat who lives in my school, and this cherry blossom tree on my campus. You're wrong, Saki. There's one more person who you can talk honestly to. He's right here. Makoto-kun, you don't need words. This is aggressive. Okay. I'll become the cat in the cherry blossom tree. Tears fill up Saki's eyes yet again. Okay. That's enough. I don't want to see you cry. Saki eyes while burying her face in my chest. Remember, it takes 6 days to pick up these girls because the game is only 6 days long, okay? They had a deadline. If this were a movie, then things would have ended perfectly, but reality is something that doesn't often go that well. Will you always trust me? I will. Only me? Only you? I won't accept it if it's not only me. Absolutely not. Yeah? I'm almost intimidated. What's with that weak response? I'm serious, I'll trust only you no matter what happens. And swear it. Huh? Swear it. Cut me a break. You say something? I don't think the sprite really comes across how it was intended to come across. No, nothing. This terrifying desire to monopolize is definitely the result of Saki's great pride. Such a troublesome rich girl. Night is approaching. Saki and I are heading towards the lodge. Makoto-kun, you don't think I'm seen, do you? Do you really think... So you really do think that? Saki looks at me, at me as her eyes get damp. Hold on, it's illegal to get teary-eyed on me at times like this. Although I think about that, I'm unable to say anything. I know myself. I'm egotistical and selfish. That's why I'm not cute. For once, I just like to empty my mind. It's fine. I don't think any of that at all. I don't think of any of that at all. It's fine if you just stay the way you are right now. It just seems like everyone's misunderstanding you, that's all. Especially Haruka. The instant I say that... Stop talking about Haruka! Saki suddenly expresses her discomfort. Why do you get so worked up when it comes to Haruka? It's fine, just stop it already. I don't want to hear about that clone. Then just tell me one thing. About that bell. That bell, perhaps it might have some sort of connection to it as well. With you? Perhaps I might. It's impossible because it's just a plaything. You said it was just a plaything yesterday as well. What do you mean by that? You can't tell even me? Haruka threatened me. Threatened you. Right, about that bell. But yesterday Haruka definitely said give it back. That's because I took it from her once. But it was when I got swallowed up by that wave. I see, so that's how their quarrel at the pier started. Then the bell's already sunk into the sea. But this morning she showed it to me again. Huh? Which means Haruka has the bell right now. Saki nods. Saki, you're not the one who actually has it, right? Why would I? No, if you don't have it, then it's fine. So you really don't have it? Of course, I wouldn't lie to you. She has to have it, because it's her ending. The girl always has the bell. But we know there's two bells, so it doesn't necessarily mean she's lying. I trust Saki's words. I just promised it earlier. No matter what happens, I'll only trust Saki. While we were talking, we passed by the front of Luna Beach. When we do, Izumi-san and Kirumi come out, having just closed up shop. They tell us they're heading for the lodge again to cook dinner. The four of us decide to head to the lodge together. After walking for a while, it gets dark around us. Dark clouds conceal the surely starry and moonlit sky. As we ascend the Silent Hill Road, I ask Izumi-san a question. I'm happy you're coming, but isn't it too early to close the shop? Today, the daytime hours are packed with customers non-stop. A rather rare occasion. We were so busy that we got exhausted. That's why we decided to close the shop ahead of time. Today, Oni-chan got 10 times as many customers as usual, so she's really pleased with her earnings. She's so paranoid that she's even hauling them around. I see, so that's why the handbag Izumi-san's holding right now is bulging so much. Be quiet, it's because you said that we're going to stay over tonight. Staying over? Oh, I'm sorry, Makoto-kun, I called Yuko-chan about this earlier. The Kirumi said she wanted to go to the lodge to stay over tonight no matter what. So you're staying over as well? I'm accompanying her as her chaperone. I'm going to make sure Kirumi doesn't cause any trouble. Kirumi would be alright even if she's alone, Oni-chan, and just because you want to go yourself. When Kirumi says that, Izumi-san lightly pokes her on the head. Kirumi puffs her cheeks. Seeing this scene of the two sisters acting so intimate causes me to break out into a smile. But without Izumi-san and Kirumi-chan, there's no one to service the shop if someone else comes. Saki suddenly says this. Huh? Huh? If today was busy, shouldn't you have kept the shop open for a while longer? After all, the shop usually doesn't get customers, so it might be bad for its future if you don't keep it open during times like this, right, Izumi-san? Well, maybe, but I'm not that greedy, so... Hey, Saki, watch your tone. I'm just speaking my mind, is that bad? Of course it's bad. Who do you think you're talking to? Saki, who do you think fixed your basket? Koto-kun, it's alright. Tell the truth. Don't you know that Izumi-san and Kirumi pulled an all-nighter just to fix that basket? All for you? That wasn't you? Yeah, that's right, I didn't fix it. I'm such an idiot. Huh? I'm such an idiot. Saki shouts that and starts running. I stand motionlessly in place, stunned. There's no way that I can chase after her. I made the same mistake Okuhiko made. Though I didn't have any ill intentions, I still ended up deceiving her, just like he did. Humans are just liars. Saki's words weighed heavily in my heart. After dinner, I isolate myself in my room. Sitting together in a circle cheerfully after dinner. I'm not in the mood for that sort of thing. As I throw myself down on the bed, my thoughts blankly turn to Saki. At that time, the door quietly opens. I sit up in my bed. Standing over there is Haruka. Why are you the only one who went back to your room? Even though they went to the trouble of coming here. You mean Kirumi and Izumi-san? Even though there are people over here, you went back to your room. It's strange. I know. If you know, then why don't you join us? Goodbye, then. Haruka! I call it to Haruka to stop as she tries to leave the room. That's right, I have to ask her about it. What? Haruka, you have it, don't you, that bell? I don't have it. Because you took it away from me. No, you're lying. I'm not lying. Saki doesn't have it. Did you confirm that? Saki said that you had it. I don't have it. Say, Haruka, would you entrust me with that bell for just one day? I can't tell you the reason why. It's just that bell might be something very dangerous. The instant I say that, I notice a change in Haruka's behavior. Haruka slowly reaches her hand out to the buttons on her cardigan. Remaining silent, she begins to unbutton them one by one. I'm dumbfounded. Haruka, what are you? When she finishes unbuttoning, Haruka begins to reach for the hook of her skirt next. And I finally come to my senses. I reflexively grab Haruka's hand, stopping it from moving. What are you doing? If I let you run a strip search on me, then that'll satisfy you, right? Haruka, if you don't trust me, then it can't be helped, right? I get it, Haruka. Haruka firmly stares at me. But I can't look at Haruka's eyes. Haruka slowly begins to button up her cardigan. I can't move an inch. Once she straightens out her clothes, Haruka wordlessly leaves the room. I flop onto the bed. So not only have I deceived people, I've also lost the ability to trust them. Some great person I turned out to be, huh? But Haruka and Saki, it's not clear which one of them is lying. It is clear. Saki has it. I cringe at this intense conflict rages inside of my head. Haruka gets it in Haruka's ending. Saki gets it in Saki's ending. I want to escape from this agony right away. I shut my eyes and try to turn off my mind. I'm so distressed that it's clear that I won't be able to sleep well tonight. Suddenly, I hear the sound of a ringing bell in the darkness. I fell out of my bed as I try to jump out of it. It's the exact same sound from my hopeless dream. At the 2-hour mark here, my heart pounds violently. The sound of the bell definitely came from the living room. Despite my body feeling sluggish, I force myself to run towards the living room. The room is pitch black, it's impossible to see anything. I hear the faint sound of the bell again. And at the same time, I hear the sound of tapping footsteps running down the short staircase on the terrace. It's coming from outside. I immediately open the front door. It's pouring rain outside. I rush down the short staircase and plunge into the downpour. Near the entrance of the forest path, I see 2 bright red lights. It's the taillights of a car. I see a shadow running towards the car. The shadow has a ponytail that sways with the rain. Saki. The car door slams shut. The headlights turn on, illuminating the countless falling raindrops in the darkness. When I look closely, I see that the car has a white sphere-shaped object on its roof, an object I've seen before in certain cars in cities. It seems that it's a taxi. The taxi starts driving away in unison with the sound of exhaust coming from its pipe. The bright red tail lights of the taxi get farther and farther away, and the sound of the tires driving on gravel is eventually drowned away by the rain. So maybe Saki steals the bell back? They're really, like, messing with me, aren't they? That was definitely Saki. What was she doing at the lodge in the middle of the night? And why did she get into a taxi, and where is she going in it? I suddenly realize my whole body is soaked with water. I am assaulted by a stinging cold. For now, I'll go back to the lodge. When I turn around, I hear the sound of a window closing. Someone might be awake. I return to the living room while shivering. I go back to the front door and stare in the darkness to check my surroundings. I don't see anyone else's presence. There's no sign that any of the others are awake, which means that the sound I heard earlier, the window closing, was just my imagination? When I try thinking of it that way, I feel like the sound of the bell I heard earlier and the taxi were all just illusions. Of course, Saki's ponytail swaying in the rain would be the same. Am I still half asleep? I must be so overwhelmed that I'm hallucinating. That must be it. In the first place, I can't think of anywhere Saki would go out to this late at night. And in this rain to boot. As I nod to myself, I return to my room and change my clothes. Once again, crawl into my still warm bed and close my eyes. I strangely feel much less trouble now than before. I wake up. As usual, the sound of the rain is still echoing. Okay, about to get to the loop. It's an intense sound that feels like it's directly hitting my ears. The downpour is probably still going on. It's a little too loud for me to try to fall asleep again. When I turn over in my bed while having thoughts like that. What? Actually, it's really easy to fall asleep for me in loud rain because the rain is such a broadband sound. It doesn't have any distinctive features to it. Because the brain is able to pick out the changes in bands with time and bands. I hear a loud scream. Feeling uneasy, I jump out of bed, but really broadband stuff doesn't really provide very much intellectual stimulation. I jump out of the bed. When I rush into the living room, everyone else gathers in succession. In the center, Izumi-san is flustered, overturning her handbag. Her face has gone pale and her eyes are bloodshot. This isn't like her at all. Izumi-san, what happened? Yesterday's proceeds, they're all gone. Saki? Omi-chan, did you look thoroughly? Of course. Did you possibly put them down in a different place? No way, this is the only place they'd be. If that's the case, then they were stolen. That's the only possibility I can think of. Stolen? You're saying one of us stole them? Don't be hasty, I wouldn't go as far as to say that. Are you sure she was the only one stolen from? What? Maybe all our wallets are stolen from as well. It would be best if we checked them all. Yuka begins to run for a room. Taking that as a signal, we all turn off to check our respective wallets. Several minutes later, all our faces have gone pale. Though we've all gathered, nobody says a word. Only the sound of the pouring rain can be heard. What should we do? Yuka finally speaks. With a cornered expression, Kirumi looks at Izumi-san. Izumi-san is biting her thumbnail. Perhaps someone amongst us is the culprit. Haruka, don't say something so stupid. It's a possibility. Yeah, it's true, but there's something that's bugging me. What? More importantly, we need to call the police. Wait, before that This isn't the time to be telling us your concerns. He's right. Anyway, the police. I stand in front of the phone and pick up the receiver. As my hands tremble, I'm about to dial the number for the police when all of a sudden, the front door quietly opens. And Saki's like, "Just a prank, bro!" I can hear the loud sound of the rainfall. Turn around towards the front door. "Pardon my intrusion, Makoto-kun, are you there?" Saki. I put the receiver down for the time being. Saki enters the living room while wiping the raindrops out of her hair. "Sorry for barging in like this, but it's really pouring out there. Sorry, but could I borrow a towel?" Yuka heads towards the kitchen. Izumi-san slightly raises her head and looks at Saki. Okuhiko glances at Saki. Haruka slowly steps back. Kirumi looks at Saki with upturned eyes, their heads still hanging downwards. Saki, not noticing how different the others are acting, approaches me. "Makoto-kun, there's a few things I have to tell you, okay?" Saki, now's not the best time. "Huh? Is something wrong?" Saki seems to have finally noticed everyone's change of behavior. She tilts her head questioningly as she surveys her surroundings. So what Uchikoshi is really pressing hard with this is somebody intentionally tried to set Saki up as the thief and was very successful at it, but she isn't actually the thief. Haruka did a setup or something. A thief broke in. What, a thief? Everyone's money was stolen. All of yesterday's proceeds from Luna Beach are completely gone as well. Don't tell me it was you. What? You came here in the dead of night last night, right? I saw it. I saw you just as you left the lodge. And where'd you go on that taxi you got into? Then that really wasn't an illusion after all. Is that true? You can't say you don't know about it. There was another witness. Who? Ishihara, would you please tell us exactly what you saw? Makoto-kun, you saw it? What'd you see? You chased her outside, didn't you? You should have seen her face as well. Makoto, you chased her? No, Would you stop lying? I lower my head, fully aware of the other's piercing glares. I lifted my face and looked towards Saki. She is staring straight into my eyes. Yeah, I definitely followed them. Who was it? Who? Dot dot dot. Hey Ishihara! I don't know. I just don't know. I just want to scream that she's innocent. You're wrong, it wasn't Saki. I want to so badly, but I can't. That person I saw last night was definitely Saki. That's why I can't cover for her, even though I want to trust her, I can't. I don't know what to do. My mind is scrambled and I lose the ability to make any sound judgments. Well, I can't, I just go. Saki has a history of being set up. Plots have a tendency to have parallelism. Therefore, it's highly likely that Saki is not the thief. Whatever, judging from your behavior, you don't even need to say anything for me to know. Saki-chan, what were you doing here last night? I didn't do it. I didn't steal anything. If that's the case, then why don't you tell us what you were doing? I don't know. There's no way you don't know what you did. I don't know what I don't know. Saki-chan, can I ask you one thing? Was it you? Saki averts her eyes. She purses her lips and clenches her hands into fists. She doesn't want to tell everybody. She was here. Something to do with the bell. Saki-chan, will you tell us the truth? Saki, I finally managed to wring my voice out. Saki looks towards me. Her desperate gaze is begging me to help her. Goto, can you trust me, right? Yeah, I trust you. You're lying. I'm not. If you're not lying, then why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you saying it wasn't me? Saki, give an answer so that everyone will understand. Once you do that, everyone... So you can't trust me either unless I use words? You're wrong. I want you to say it because I want to trust you. Saki slowly shakes her head. You're the same, Makoto. All humans are the same. Saki turns back and bursts out the front door. Saki! Saki begins to descend the forest path, which is particularly changed into a marsh, as if she's tumbling down. I desperately chase after her. I keep running against the pouring rain. Saki gets hit by a car. I slowly close the distance between Saki and I. Before long, Saki gets onto the road that leads to the cave. There's cherry blossom trees. I almost immediately rush onto the tree-lined street. I chase Saki. If we continue like this, we'll arrive at Viewpoint Park. In other words, a dead end. At that time, what should I say to Saki? What do I even want to say once I catch up with her? You don't need words. I'll become the cat and the cherry blossom tree. I said that to Saki yesterday. Even so, I couldn't completely trust Saki. What am I supposed to say to her now of all times? The tip of the cape, the dead end. Saki grips the fence with her back turned towards me. I slow down and cautiously approach her. I hear the sound of the waves breaking at the bottom of the cliff. The cold rain intensely beats down on Saki's back. Saki. I call out to her. Saki doesn't try to answer or turn around. Suddenly she begins to cross over the boundary of the dead end. Saki! I kick off the wet ground and start running. Saki climbs over the iron fence and stands on the opposite side of it. It can't be. Stay back. Don't get any closer. I come to a halt. The fiercely blowing wind waves through Saki's hair. Saki? I swore to always continue believing in only you, even though I swore that. It's fine, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Saki glances directly downwards. My chest tightens with the painful look in her eyes. No one even gives anything about me anymore. You're wrong, Saki, that's not. As I say that, I carefully step towards Saki. And at that time, Saki quietly raises her dangling left hand and opens it. Lying there in her palm is the bell. It's that bell. The bell she said she lost in the ocean. Even though she said Haruka had it now. I've had it the whole time. Why? I was also lying to you. I didn't trust you. I don't trust people. I can't trust them. I don't want to trust them. Saki, I never thought of wanting someone to trust me either. I was fine not being trusted. Except you're going to demonstrate that right here, right now. That you're not fine. Saki, please listen to me. I take a step forward. I told you not to get any closer. I take another step forward. Stay away! Don't get any closer or I'll really... I gently reach my hand out. Saki slowly shakes her head. While continuing to keep my hand stretched out, I approach her even more. Take my hand. Take my hand, Saki. Yes, I've seen the Bring Me to Life by Evanescence music video. I take another firm step, and at that instant, Saki lets go of the fence with her right hand. She gently closes her eyes. Her body leans backward. The bell slips and falls from her now powerless left hand. It goes ding. Like that she falls. She falls into the pitch black alluring darkness, like a scrap of paper dancing in the wind. Saki. Why? Why, Saki? Yell, Saki. And we got the loop. Unfulfilled vow. As I wake up, I kick the covers off the bed with all my strength. Still half asleep, I blankly stare into space. It's a familiar ceiling. I realize I'm freezing, my body soaked with sweat all over. I take a deep breath and slowly exhale. The warm scent of wood goes through my nose and fills my head. It takes me through my breaths until, this is the lodge? It's the lodge, isn't it? I quickly jump out of the bed. I stand in the center of the room and look around. There's no mistaking it. This is my bedroom. What's going on? That's right. I definitely followed Saki to Viewpoint Park. Okay, so I got the loop, so I'm gonna call it quits for today. I'm in the load menu. Save. Okay. And we're gonna go back to the title. Make sure it's saved. Yep, okay, good. 86 out of 100 CG. So we got that one of the Yuko ones are missing, but not this one though. That's odd. We haven't got the last two of those. Maybe there's like a day and a night version of them. Whoops. I have that one, and that one, and that one. Okay. And this, and these. So this is supposed to be a Saki sprite, a Saki CG. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a pair of 2 left. Okay, got 9 out of these 15, so more than half of them. No new musics. No new tips. Because you don't get a new tip until you get an ending, good ending. Okay. I guess I'll stop recording.